Hey guys, I'm Nicole. After a bunch of requests for a 60-minute advanced, what does advanced really mean? I don't know, challenging sequence, we are doing it and it's gonna be a fun one. I highly recommend having 2 blocks nearby just in case there are potentially some pistol squats, which you might want some height for your hands. Let's do it. We are actually going to get started in a forward fold at the top of the mat. So, coming to standing about feet hip-width distance apart, and then just let the upper body hang heavy and clasp opposite elbows, swaying side to side. Really drop the head, pulling chin in towards chest, and then I encourage you here to maybe open and close the mouth, rolling out the jaw. Jaw is a place that holds a lot of tension for humans, and we don't really think about it enough. Can be even the source of headaches, things like that. Maybe you close the eyes, take one really deep and intentional breath here, and then open the mouth for your exhale. Release the right hand down to the mat. Bend into the right knee. Left fingertips open up, taking a twist with the upper body so the left shoulder stacks on top of right. Take the left hand into a fist and roll out the left wrist. And then switch direction of the circles. And then come back through center, bend into the left knee, left hand drops, right fingertips open up, twisting out upper body, right hand into a fist and roll out the wrist. And switch direction of the circles. And come back through center. Hands interlace at the base of the skull. Chin in towards chest, elbows in towards each other. Find a little bounce. And keep pulling chin in towards chest to lengthen out the back of the neck. And then releasing hands back down to the mat on your inhale, halfway lift, lengthen the spine. Take a bend into the knees, keeping fingertips on the mat for a moment. Slight tuck of the tailbone. And then release the arms to airplane wings. Shift your weight into the toes. Drop the hips all the way down to the heels, and then on your inhale, arms extend up overhead. Lean the upper body back. See if you can bring the knees all the way to the floor. And then we're going to untuck the toes and bring palms to touch at the heart. Close the eyes just for a moment or two. Getting grounded before we really pick up the pace and start to move quite a bit. Soft opening of the eyes. On your inhale, arms extend up overhead. Let's come to standing on the knees. On your exhale, cactus out the arms and open the heart towards the sky. Little bit of a back bend. Glutes are engaged. Inhale to come back up through center. Curl onto the toes. We're going to send the hips to the heels, lift the knees, and then send the hips back, coming all the way to bear pose. Ground through the heels. Inhale, come all the way to standing. Little bit of a back bend at the top. On your exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen the spine. On your exhale, release, plant the hands, step back, high plank. Wrists under shoulders, start to shift your weight forward and back. Take some circles on the wrist. I always like to get some mobility and some strength into the wrists at the beginning of a practice. Maybe you play here with both arms at the same time, dropping down to the floor, finding a forearm plank. Really press the floor away with the forearms. You're staying lifted up out of the shoulder sockets. Lift the right toes to a hover above the floor. Can either stay right here or reach left hand to the back of the room, left fingertips to the left thigh. Come back through center. We'll swap it out. Left toes lift to a hover. You are welcome to hang out right here or right hand to the right thigh. Come back through center. Forearms stay to the floor. Walk the toes forward, Dolphin Pose. Basically down dog, but on the forearms. Kick the heels down to the floor and actively pull the heart towards the thighs. And then we're gonna play here with peeling forward into a chaturanga. So lifting the elbows from the mat. As you roll forward, keep the 90-degree angle, bend in the elbows. Exhale, lower all the way down to the belly. Untuck the toes with your inhale, lift baby cobra, no pressure in the hands. And exhale to release back down. Curl onto the toes, press all the way up, high plank. Lift the right toes to a hover above the mat, right foot is flexed. And here we're gonna hook the right big toe and second toe on the left heel. And then on your exhale, with the right foot, pull the left heel to the mat as you send the hips back, down dog. It's okay if the left foot does not come all the way to the floor, but we're bringing some length in the left calf and Achilles tendon. On your next inhale, sweep the right toes high. Bend the knee to open the hip. So right hip stacks on top of left, right heel towards left glute. Then roll out the right ankle. And on your exhale, pull the right knee into the chest. Step the foot all the way through. Drop the left knee down and exhale, straighten through right leg. Half split, or maybe you slide right leg forward, left knee back. Knowing that it's early on in the practice, only go as far as feels supported. We're definitely still warming up. And if you've gone farther than a half split, let's meet back there. Plant the fingertips to the outside of the feet. You can grab blocks or books or height if you need it. Strong point forward with the right toe. See if you can hover the right foot off the mat. So compressing into the right hip joint and engaging into the lower core. And release the right heel back down. Right foot plants as you bend into right knee, upper body lifts. And on your exhale, plant the hands, frame out the right foot, kick the right foot back, keeping left knee grounded. And then curl onto the left toes, lift the left knee, straighten all the way back to three-legged down dog. Drop the right foot back down to the floor. On your exhale, roll forward, high plank, wrists underneath the shoulders. Active, press the floor away. Left toes lift to a hover, left foot is flexed. Hook the left big toe and second toe on the right heel. And then on your exhale, pull the right heel down towards the mat as you extend the hips back. Heart pulls towards the thighs. A pretty active pull on the right heel so that we're lengthening out left calf and Achilles tendon. On your next inhale, kick the left toes high. Bend the knee to open the hip. And roll out left ankle here, maybe take circles with the knee. Keep pressing the floor away from you with the hands. On your exhale, pull the left knee into the chest, step the foot all the way through. Right knee drops down. On your exhale, straighten through left leg. Really pulling left toes back towards the body. Blocks are there for the hands if you need a little extra height. And always option to slide left leg forward, right knee back. Only as far as feels supported. And a couple cycles of breath here. And if you've gone further than a half split, we're going to meet back in a half. So pulling left heel back, left hip back, and then again ground into the fingertips. Active point through the left toes and see if you can hover the left foot above the mat. Engaging into the lower core, into the left quads, hip flexors. And then dropping left heel back down, rebend into the left knee. Inhale, upper body lifts. Palms can come all the way to touch here if that feels okay. Little bit of an opening of the heart towards the sky, but more of a press of the hips down and forward. So lengthening into the front right hip. And release hands to frame out left foot. Kick the left toes back, three-legged table. And then curl onto the right toe, slow lift of the right knee all the way back into a three-legged down dog. On your exhale, drop the left toes next to the right. And take a couple cycles of breath here to pedal out the feet, bending into one knee and then the other knee. And shifting hips side to side. Letting this movement feel good in the body. So it doesn't have to look like any particular thing. It doesn't have to follow any particular cue or rhythm. Just kind of working out the kinks here. Meeting back in neutral. Come up high onto the toes. Take a deep bend into the knees. On your exhale, step or hop to the top of the mat. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen. Exhale to release. Inhale to rise, come all the way through standing, palms to touch, maybe a little back bend. On your exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen the spine. Exhale to release, plant the hands, step back to a high plank, and then on your exhale, drop elbows to the floor. Walk the toes in, dolphin. Kick the heels to the floor, the heart towards the thigh. Uh-oh, lost my mic. We're going to stay grounded into finger pads, knuckle pads. Roll forward into your chaturanga. This time pulling the heart through upward dog. Come to the tops of the toes. We'll do that one a couple more times because it's a tough one to grasp. On your exhale, send the hips up and back, downward dog. On your next exhale, step, walk, or hop the feet to the top of the mat, forward fold, Uttanasana. Use your inhale to halfway lift, lengthen the spine. Exhale to release. Inhale to rise, come all the way through standing, palms to touch, maybe a little back bend. With your exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen the spine. Exhale to release. Plant the hands, step back into a high plank. On your exhale, lower the elbows, forearm plank. Walk the toes in, dolphin pose. Kicking heels towards floor, heart towards thighs. Engage into finger pads and knuckle pads, and on your exhale, peel forward, chaturanga. Pull the heart through upward dog. On your exhale, send the hips up and back, downward facing. One more modified sun salutation just like that. On your exhale, feet to the top of the mat, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen. Open the mouth, exhale, release. Inhale, rise. All the way to standing, palms to touch, maybe a little heart opener. And then exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, half lift, lengthen. Exhale, release, plant the hands, step back, high plank. One more time, elbows lower to the floor. Toes walk in, dolphin pose. Kicking heels towards floor, heart towards thighs, engage into finger pads and knuckle pads, and then slow down the transition, peeling the elbows off the mat. Elbows to hug the rib cage, and then pull the heart through, upward dog. On your exhale, hips up and back, downward facing Adho Mukha Svanasana. Shorten the stance of your down dog and walk the feet a little bit wider towards the edges of the mat. We're going to keep left hand planted, and then on your exhale, right hand reaches for the outside of left leg. Gaze comes underneath left armpit. Really press the floor away and use your exhale to deepen the twist, wrapping lungs around the heart. On your next inhale, come back through center, right hand plants. Exhale, second side. Left hand reaches for the outside of right leg. Gaze comes underneath right armpit. This is maybe my favorite twist. I spend a lot of time here. On your next inhale, come back through center, left hand plants. Keep the feet wide, come up onto the toes, deep bend into the knees. On your exhale, hop into your Halasana, Yogi Squat. Feet are wide, elbows to the knees, hands to the heart. We're going to interlace all 10 fingers here and roll out the wrists. And then switch direction of the circles. So I'm hoping we're starting to feel a little bit warmed up in the body. We're going to play here with a 1 minute crow pose hold, knowing that you can fall out and come back in as many times as you need to. And you can also hang out right here in Halasana with eyes closed if you're feeling like that's where you're at right now. So hands plant shoulder width distance apart. Knees are gonna find their way to the backs of the arms, and then you're gonna shift forward. If you're new to crow pose and you're building strength, this is a great place to hang out. Otherwise, maybe you lift one foot, maybe you lift both feet. We're at a minute starting now, and I'm gonna do it with you guys. If you feel like this is challenging, stay right where you're at. And again, you can come out and in as many times as you need to. We're at about 15 seconds. If you're feeling like this is pretty easy for you right now, you could play with lifting one knee off the back of the arm and then the other. Or if you're really up for the challenge and it's in your practice, you could play with pressing up to handstand from here or down into headstand. We're halfway there. Keep pressing the floor away Imagining that my hand is on your back between your shoulder blades and you're pressing up into my hand. So you're strong through the back body and not collapsing downward into the floor. It's almost like a locust pose or a cobra with the upper body. Like really lifting up through the back body. All right, final 5 seconds. Nice work. The next place we're gonna meet is in our down dog. So you can step back, hop back, vinyasa back, child's pose back. Whatever gets you there. And then soften the knees to the floor. Keep the toes tucked. We're gonna sit back onto the heels, bringing the palms to touch each other, and then just kind of move the hands from side to side. And then move the hands forward and back. And then bring the backs of the hands together. Bring the wrists up towards the sky, and then take the hands into a fist, and release. Into a fist, let it go. One more time into a fist and hold, maybe squeeze even a little tighter, elbows down towards the mat, and release. Let's come back into a tabletop position, backs of the hands, palms to the floor, but fingers pointing towards the body. If this is enough, stay right where you're at. We're really getting into the wrist right now. If you're ready for a little more, you could curl onto the toes and maybe play with lifting the knees into a plank with the palms reversed. If this causes any tension in the wrist, like any sharp pain, definitely back out. If it just feels like that stretchy sensation, stick with it. From whatever shape you're in, we're gonna meet in a high plank, palms to flip around, facing the front of the room, fingers pointing to the front of the room. On your exhale, lower halfway down. Inhale, pull the heart through. And then exhale, send the hips up and back, downward facing. On your next inhale, sweep the right toes high. On your exhale, shift forward, right knee taps right elbow. Inhale to kick back. Exhale to the left elbow. Inhale to kick back. Exhale, knee into the chest, step the foot all the way through between the hands, and then on your exhale, straighten out through the right leg. Option to ground into the right heel and lift the right toes from the mat here, inviting right hip back, left hip forward. And then dropping the right toes, if you've lifted them, come onto the kind of the ball of the left foot, even a little bit more, and then release arms to airplane wings beside you. So kind of working on stability and balance here. Quads are engaged in the right leg to protect the knee joint. Bend into the right knee as you inhale, come all the way up, high crescent lunge. Shoulders to stack on top of the hips. On your exhale, twist the upper body to the right. So the left fingertips reach forward, right fingertips reach back. Use the strength of the core to twist even a little bit deeper. And then find the reverse, right hand, left thigh, left arm up and over. On your exhale, we're gonna sweep the left fingertips forward and down, right hand comes high. Bring the right peace fingers to the right big toe, and then we're gonna shift to the outside edge of the left foot, coming all the way into a side plank, holding onto either right foot, right leg, right knee. You could also play with straightening out right leg. Come back through center, high plank, right foot next to the left, wrists underneath the shoulders. Optional vinyasa, or send the hips straight back, downward dog. On your next inhale, left toe sweep high. Exhale, shift forward, left knee taps left elbow. Inhale to kick back. Exhale, left knee to the right elbow. Inhale to kick back. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale to kick back. On your exhale, pull the knee into the chest, step the foot all the way through. And then we'll straighten through the left leg here. Shifting left hip back, right hip forward. Grounding into the left heel, maybe you play with lifting left toes up off the mat. Dropping left toes, if you've lifted them, really shift forward on the right toes and then arms come to airplane wings. Maybe you get the nose all the way towards left knee, chin in towards chest. Keeping arms to airplane. On your inhale, bend into the left knee, upper body lifts, come all the way up, high crescent, shoulders stack on top of hips. On your exhale, twist the upper body to the left. Gazes to the left fingertips here. Really use the strength of the core to wrap the lungs around the heart. Maybe you find the reverse, left hand, right thigh, right arm up and over. On your exhale, we'll reach right fingertips forward and down, left hand high. Sweep the left fingertips around to grab either the left big toe or the left knee or the left ankle. Shift to the outside edge of right foot, coming all the way open to side plank on the right side. You could even play with straightening left leg here. On your inhale, come back through center, high plank. Exhale, halfway lower down. Either choosing a full vinyasa or send the hips straight back, meeting in a down dog. Come up high onto the toes, taking a deep bend into the knees, and then on your exhale, play with a hop, maybe even through handstand for a moment, landing eventually in a forward fold at the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen the spine. Open the mouth, exhale, release. Feet are hip width distance. Take as much of a bend in the knees as you need to bring the palms under the feet so that the toes come all the way to the wrist creases. Elbows pull to the outsides of the mat, heart pulls towards thighs. Release the head. And then releasing the hands, one vertebrae at a time. On your inhale, slow roll up the spine, coming all the way up to standing. Head and neck are last to lift. Arms extend up overhead at the top, palms to touch, gaze up to the fingers. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen the spine. On your exhale, release. Plant the hands, step or hop or add your crow pose or inversion. We'll meet eventually in a downward dog. And we're going to take that last sequence one more time, speeding it up a teeny bit and adding a little bit on. On your inhale, sweep the right toes high. Exhale, right knee, right elbow. Inhale to kick back. Exhale to the left elbow, pause. Straighten through the right leg, set the outside edge of the foot on the floor, left foot spins flat. Inhale, left fingertips open up, fallen star. Reach the left hand to the front of the room, start to hover the right foot off of the mat. And then left hand comes down to the mat as you kick the right toes back, three-legged down dog. Exhale, knee into the chest, step the foot through. Straighten through the right leg, maybe lifting right toes from the mat, just a cycle of breath here. And then dropping right toes down, come up onto the ball of the left foot, arms release to airplane wings. On your inhale, bend into the right knee, high crescent lunge, palms to touch overhead. With your exhale, twist the upper body to the right, left fingertips forward, right fingertips back. On your inhale, come back through center. On your exhale, warrior two, left foot spins flat, gazes over right middle finger. Reach the right fingertips forward, and then sweep the left fingertips to the front of the room. So kind of an extended side angle shape. On your inhale, come all the way up, reverse warrior, left hand, left thigh, right arm up and over. And then exhale, cartwheel the hands, frame out the right foot, step back, high plank. Either choosing a vinyasa or sending the hips straight back, downward dog. On your next inhale, left toe sweep high. Exhale, shift forward, left knee taps left elbow. Inhale to kick back. Exhale, left knee, right elbow, fallen star, straighten through the left leg as you spin to the inside edge of the right foot, right fingertip sweep high. If you want more, left toes could come to a hover off the mat. Reach the right hand to the front of the room. And then circle the right hand down as you kick the left toes all the way back, three-legged down dog. On your exhale, pull the left knee into the chest, step the foot lightly all the way through. Straighten through left leg. Maybe grounding into left heel and lifting left toes up off the mat. And then dropping the left toes down. Keep both legs straight, but come onto the right toes as arms come to airplane wings beside you. Rebend into the left knee as you inhale up, high crescent lunge, shoulders to stack. With your exhale, twist to the left, right fingertips forward, left fingertips open up. On your inhale, come back up through center. Exhale, warrior two, right foot spins flat. Twist the upper body to the right just a little bit, and then extend the left fingertips forward and right fingertips forward as well. On your inhale, come all the way up, reverse your warrior, right hand, right thigh. And exhale to cartwheel the hands, frame out the left foot. Step back into a high plank, either choosing your vinyasa or sending the hips straight back, downward dog. Landing in either a down dog or a child's pose for about 5 cycles of breath. Knowing that these 5 cycles of breath is also an opportunity to play with an inversion or an arm balance if you're feeling ready for it. 3 more cycles of breath right here. Last breath here before we move. Picking it up a notch with our next sequence. On your next inhale, sweep the right toes high. Exhale, shift forward, right knee, right elbow. Maybe you come all the way forward into a flying crow. Just an option. Left toes drop to the mat. Inhale, right toes kick back. Exhale, right knee, left elbow, fallen star. Right leg straightens through, left fingertips sweep high. Maybe you hover the right foot from the mat. Drop the left hand down as you kick the right toes back, 3-legged down dog. On your exhale, walk the hands all the way to the back of the mat. You might want blocks here. On your exhale, right toes, tap the right wrist or wherever they land. Inhale to kick high. If you're really struggling with this one, hands on blocks is great. Exhale, right toes, tap right wrist. Inhale to kick up. Exhale, tap right toes, right wrist, pause. Maybe you see if you can slide the knee even a little bit higher up on the arm. We're going to come all the way down into a pistol squat. Right foot comes through, drop the hips down onto left heel. You can either hang out here or palms to touch at the heart. Blocks are there for the hands if you need them. All right, guys, throwing you into the fire. We're going to take a big step forward with the right foot, coming all the way into a power lunge. Left leg straightens, arms extend to airplane wings beside you. Okay, keep the upper body forward. Now straighten through the right leg. Bend deeply into the left knee, maybe so much that the left knee is like an inch above the mat. Extend the arms to the front of the room. Kick off of the left toes, shift forward, warrior 3. Spine parallel to the floor, left leg parallel to the floor. Bring palms to touch at heart center. On your inhale, we're gonna come all the way to standing. Keep the left leg straight. Left foot comes all the way to the front of the room. Arms open to a cactus, fingertips are active. Point the left toes forward. And then open the heart to the sky. Just a teeny back bend, only if it's supported in the low spine. Come back up through center, palms to touch at the heart. Slow bend in the right knee, come all the way to a pistol squat at the top of the mat. Whew. Blocks are there if you need them. We're gonna drop the hips all the way to the floor here. Right leg extends long, come all the way down, hollow hold. Arms to airplane wings beside you. Inhale, come up, Navasana, boat pose. On your exhale, down to a hollow hold. 2 more, inhale, come up. Exhale to hover. Last one, inhale up. Exhale, hover, pause. Roll the shoulders to the mat, arms down by the sides. Slowly, we're rolling our way all the way into a Halasana, plow pose. So without any momentum, roll the toes behind the head. Cross the right ankle over the left ankle. Slow roll back down the spine, 1 vertebrae at a time. Keep right ankle crossed over the left. As you bend into the knees, we're going to roll up the spine, come all the way to a forward fold at the top of the mat. Right ankle is still crossed. For a moment, walk hands over to the top right corner of the mat. And then inhale to walk the hands back through center. We'll meet in a down dog. If you want to play with a press up towards handstand, you could. Or you could bend into the knees playing with crow pose with ankles crossed. Maybe letting the toes lift from the mat. It is all optional. You can step back, hop back, vinyasa back. Eventually, we'll meet in a down dog. On your next inhale, left toes sweep high. Exhale, shift forward, left knee lands on the back of the left elbow. Maybe you just shift forward onto right toes, or maybe right foot lifts, coming all the way into a flying crow. Drop the right toes down. Inhale, kick the left toes back, 3-legged down dog. On your exhale, left knee, right elbow, fallen star. Left leg straightens, right fingertips open up. Maybe left foot is to a hover. Circle the right hand down, kick the left toes all the way back, and then walk the hands to the back of the mat, finding your standing split. Moment to find the hamstring stretch here. Grab the blocks if you need them underneath the hands. On your exhale, see if you can tap left toes to left wrist or wherever they land. Inhale, kick up. Exhale, tap. Inhale to kick up. One more time, exhale, tap, hold. Maybe you slide the toes even a little bit higher up on the arm as if you're trying to touch your elbow. Pull the left leg all the way through, hips come down, pistol squat. Maybe you keep hands to the floor or to props, or palms could come to touch at the heart. Maybe you see if you can lift the left toes even a little bit higher. We're gonna take a big step forward with the left foot, coming all the way forward, power lunge. Arms come to airplane wings beside you. Knit the rib cage up and in, so as if you're pulling kind of the whole back body up towards the sky just a teeny bit. Straighten out the left leg. Deep bend into the right knee. Maybe so much that the right knee is just an inch above the floor. We're gonna kick off of the right toes, come all the way forward, warrior three. Spine parallel to the floor, right leg parallel to the floor. Again, rib cage up and in. On your inhale, come all the way to standing. Right leg stays straight. Extend the right leg to the front of the room. Palms are to touch at the heart. Pull the right toes back. Lift the right foot even a little bit higher, and then cactus out the elbows. Open the heart to the sky if that's supported in the low spine. Inhale to release the back bend. Slow bend into the left knee until you come all the way down into a pistol squat at the top of the mat. Whew. Right toes lift a little higher. Drop the hips to the floor. On your exhale, come all the way low, hollow hold. This time, if you want more, arms extend up overhead. On your inhale, come up, Navasana boat pose. Exhale to a hover. Inhale, back up. Couple more, exhale, hover. Inhale, lift. Last one, exhale, hover, hold. Drop the shoulders to the mat and then roll up the spine so that eventually the toes tap all the way behind the head. Landing in a plow pose. Cross the left ankle over the right. One vertebrae at a time. Exhale, slow roll down the spine. As you come down, bend into the knees. Roll up, coming to a forward fold with the left ankle crossed over the right. Hands can stay in the center or walk to the top left corner of the mat. Inhale to walk the hands back through center. One more time, we'll meet in our down dog. So you could play with crow pose, keeping ankles crossed. You could skip it and step back, hop back. Could make something else up along the way. Meeting eventually in a downward dog. Open the mouth for an exhale. That sequence one more time. Sometimes with more complex sequences, I think it takes a couple times to really get it in your head. On your next inhale, sweep the right toes high. We're gonna add on a little bit this time too. Exhale, right knee, right elbow. Inhale to kick back. Exhale, right knee, left elbow. Inhale to kick back. Walk the hands to the back of the mat, right toes stay lifted. Exhale, right toes tap right wrist. Inhale to kick up. Exhale to tap. Inhale to kick up. Last one, exhale, tap. Pull the right foot all the way through, pistol squat. Okay, taking a big step forward with the right foot, power lunge. So crown of the head to the front of the room, arms to airplane wings. Straighten through the right leg. Bend into the left knee. We're gonna keep the legs as they are this time. Upper body lifts. You can either stay right here or add on challenge by reaching left hand towards the left ankle. Come back up through center if you've gone elsewhere. Keep the legs as they are. Upper body forward, arms extend to the front of the room. Kick off of the left foot, warrior three. On your exhale, left hand down, right fingertips open up, reverse half moon, Pavrita Ardha Chandrasana. Bend into the left knee, see if you can get the grip on the left toes with the right hand. And then maybe left fingertips reach to the front of the room. Drop the left hand back down. Release the right toes, come all the way to a standing split. And on your inhale, we're gonna come all the way to standing. Left leg extends to the front of the room, left toes are flexed. On your exhale, cactus out the elbows, peel the heart towards sky. Inhale, release back bend. Slow lower into the right knee, coming all the way down, pistol squat. Lower the hips to the floor. Come all the way down, hollow hold. Inhale to come up, boat pose. Exhale, hollow hold. Inhale to come up. Last one, exhale, hollow hold, and hold it. Lower the shoulders to the mat. Peel the spine up, one vertebrae at a time, rolling all the way into your Halasana. Plow pose. Slow lower down the spine, one vertebrae at a time. This time we're just going to land in our forward fold at the top of the mat, feet plant, lift the hips, Uttanasana. One vertebrae at a time. On your inhale, roll all the way up the spine to standing. Arms extend up overhead at the top, bring palms to touch. On your exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. 2 more times, inhale, roll up the spine, one vertebrae at a time. Arms extend up overhead. Open the mouth for your exhale, Uttanasana. 1 more time, roll up the spine, one vertebrae at a time. Arms extend up overhead. Open the mouth, Uttanasana. On your inhale, halfway lift, lengthen the spine. With your exhale, release, plant the hands. We'll meet in a down dog. You could step back, hop back, handstand back. Eventually downward facing. All right, last time, last side for this sequence. Inhale, left toe sweep high. Exhale, forward left knee to the left elbow. Inhale to kick back. Exhale to the right elbow. Inhale to kick back. Exhale, walk the hands to the back of the mat, standing split. Staying folded forward, left toes sweep high. On your exhale, left toes tap left wrist. Inhale to kick up. Exhale to tap. Inhale to kick up. Last one, exhale, tap and hold. Bring the left foot all the way through, pistol squat, hips drop low. All right, last big transition here. Big step forward to the top of the mat with the left foot. Straighten out the right leg, power lunge. And then straightening through the left leg, bend into the right knee. You can either stay here or arms extend forward, or upper body lifts, or right hand reaches for the right heel. All just options. Inhale, come back up through center. Whoo. Hands to frame out left foot. Let's all extend fingertips to the front of the room and then kick off of the right toes, warrior 3. Spine parallel to the floor. On your exhale, right hand drops down, left fingertips open up, reverse half moon, Pavrita Ardha Chandrasana. Bend into the right knee, seeing if you can grab onto the right toes with left hand. And then maybe right fingertips reach to the front of the room. Kick the right toes into the left fingertips. Release back through center, warrior 3. Exhale, standing split. Ground through the left heel. On your inhale, we're going to come all the way to standing. Bring the right leg with you. Arms extend up overhead. On your exhale, cactus out the arms, peel the heart towards the sky. Inhale to come back up through center. Last time, slow bend into the left knee. Come all the way down, pistol squat. Hips on top of left heel. Lower the hips to the floor. Extend both legs long, hollow hold. Inhale to come up, boat pose. Exhale, hollow hold. Inhale to boat. Exhale to lower. Last one, inhale up. Exhale, lower and pause. Shoulders to the floor. This is our last time here. Make it your slowest one yet. Lift the heels. Lift the hips and roll up the spine. And exhale to slow lower back down. Plant the feet to the top of the mat. Come all the way up, forward fold, Uttanasana. Clasp opposite elbows and sway side to side. And dropping the head. Release the hands. Inhale, halfway lift and lengthen. Exhale to release. Plant the hands, step or hop or play, making your way eventually to a down dog. And I invite you to not look at the camera. I'm not doing anything special. Make something up along the way. We have one final sequence before we're going to start to take things down a little bit. On your inhale, right toes sweep high. On your exhale, right knee comes across the body, left elbow straighten out the leg, fallen star. Come to the inside edge of left foot, left fingertips reach. We're going to keep the right foot grounded into the mat this time. Throwing you into the fire. We're going to press into the right foot. See if you can bring left knee up to the left elbow, and then step the left foot to the top of the mat. Left hand drops down. Right toes kick high, standing split. Take as much of a bend in the left knee as you need to here to plant the fingertips on the floor. You can either hang out right here, or you can play with a couple hops towards handstand. Even if left toes, really just literally lift off the mat an inch. And it doesn't matter if this is your bad side. Take a couple kicks. Meeting in your standing split. Slow bend in left knee, right toes drop all the way to the back of the mat. On your inhale, upper body lifts, high crescent lunge. Slow bend into the right knee until it's just hovering above the floor. Tuck the tailbone down and forward. And then inhale, straighten out the right leg. Exhale, right knee bends until it's just hovering. And then straighten out right leg. One more time, exhale, hover. This time, soften the right knee all the way down to the floor. Hands interlace at the base of the skull. Open the heart to the sky. Elbows peel apart and down towards the back corners of the mat. Inhale to release the back bend. Frame out the left foot. Kick the left toes back, three-legged table. And then drop the left knee behind the right knee. Send the hips all the way back for a cow face pose. Okay, you can hang out right here. Left leg can straighten if that's more supported in the hips or the low back. If it feels okay, left hand could come above, right hand could come behind, or you could even work towards reverse prayer here. Two more cycles of breath. And unraveling the shoulder opener if you've got it. We're going to shift all the way back forward. Unravel the left knee to tap the left shoulder. And then kick the left toes back. Curl onto the ball of the right foot. Come all the way back, three-legged down dog. And then soften the left toes to the floor. Articulating each vertebrae one at a time. On your exhale, ripple forward, high plank. Take a bend into the knees and let the tailbone pull the hips back, downward dog. Two more times. Exhale, roll forward, high plank. Bend into the knees, let the tailbone pull the hips back. One more time. Exhale, roll forward, high plank. Pausing here. Exhale, halfway lower, hover and pause. Knees can always drop. Lift the right toes an inch above the mat. Right toes drop, lift the left toes. Left toes drop, pull the heart through, up dog. And then on an exhale, hips up and back, downward facing. Last time, last side, last sequence. On your inhale, left toes sweep high. Exhale, left knee across the body, right elbow. Straighten through the left leg, setting outside edge of the foot to the floor, right fingertips sweep high. Really press into the left foot. Right knee comes up into the right armpit or right elbow. And then step the right foot all the way to the top of the mat. Right hand to frame out right foot. Kick left toes high, standing split. As much of a bend in the right knee as you need to plant the hands on the floor. This might be where you hang out. Just work on shifting weight into the hands. That's step one. Next step, maybe you play with a little hop. Even if you're literally just getting right foot an inch above the mat. Or maybe you catch the balance for a moment, Eventually, from your standing split, on your exhale, bend into the right knee, left toes drop all the way to the back of the mat. On your inhale, upper body lifts, high crescent lunge. With your exhale, bend into the left knee until it's just hovering above the floor. Inhale, straighten out left leg. Exhale to tap. Inhale to straighten. Last one, exhale, hover and pause when it's just an inch above the floor. And then soften left knee down, hands interlace at the base of the skull, open the heart to the sky. Elbows apart and down towards the back corners of the mat. Inhale to release the back bend. Drop the hands to frame out the right foot. Keep the left knee grounded and then kick the right toes all the way back. Drop the right knee behind the left knee. And then hips all the way to the floor. Cow face pose, second side. You can either hang here, you could sit up onto a prop if this is a tight shape here as well, or you could re-straighten through the right leg. If you took the shoulder opener on the other side, this time it's right hand above, left hand behind. Or again, you could also work towards reverse prayer here. Last 3 cycles of breath. And releasing the clasp of the hands if you've got it. Let's roll back forward. Hands underneath the shoulders. Unravel the right knee to tap the right armpit or the right shoulder. Maybe even a little higher up on the arm. And then kick the right toes back. Curl onto the left toes. Kick all the way back, 3-legged down dog. And then soften the right foot next to the left. With your exhale, ripple forward, high plank. Bend into the knees. Let the tailbone pull the hips back, downward dog. 2 more times. Exhale, roll forward. Bend into the knees. Let the tailbone pull the hips back. On your exhale, roll forward. Lower down to the forearms. Lift the right toes an inch above the floor, and then either stay here or left hand glues to the left thigh. Come back through center. Left toes lift an inch. Either hang out here or right hand reaches towards right thigh. Come back through center, forearm plank. Walk the toes in, dolphin pose. Always option to invert, take it when you want it. This could mean kicking up towards forearm stand or towards headstand. Or you can hang out right here in dolphin pose, which is a really wonderful place for building strength in the shoulders for inversions. So keep pressing floor away. Pulling heart back towards thighs. Drop the head, chin in towards chest. If you're inverting, you can play for as long as you'd like. Whenever you're ready to move forward, as we did earlier in practice, engage into finger pads and knuckle pads. Roll through chaturanga, elbows hug the rib cage. Pull the heart through up dog. And then exhale, send the hips up and back, downward facing. And drop the head here, open the mouth, exhale. And find a little bit of a bounce with the upper body. Maybe you take a child's pose. We're hanging here for another 5 cycles of breath. And let's drop the knees to the floor. Coming all the way into a seat by extending legs out long in front of you. Toes pull back towards the body, spine is tall here, so you're lifting up and out of the waist. On your inhale, arms come up overhead. We're going to cross the right ankle on top of the left, and the left arm underneath the right. Pull the fingertips up towards the sky. So active pull of the fingertips high, and then exhale as if you're trying to reach the fingertips to the toes. And then drop the chin, maybe the forehead rests even into the right arm. And then inhale to come back up through center. Uncross the right foot, cross the left on top. And then arms extend up overhead. Swap it out. Right arm underneath the left. Really pull the fingertips up high. And then keeping a straight spine, upper body folds forward as if you're reaching for the toes. Again, drop the head, forehead into the left arm maybe. And then inhale to come back up through center. Left foot next to the right. Inhale, arms extend up overhead. And exhale to fold through center. Hands can be anywhere along the legs or the feet or the floor. Keep pulling toes towards body, kicking heels to the front of the room. And then drop the head so you're inviting chin in towards chest. And then your inhale, halfway lift, lengthen the spine. Active point of the toes forward, so you're lengthening out the front of the ankles into the front line of the legs, and then active flex of the toes back. And then point forward, and then pull back. One more time, active point, toes back. Inhale, back up through center, legs to a straddle. And again, this could be a shape that's tight already right here, in which case you could sit onto a prop, a block, or a bolster. Spine stays tall as you walk the upper body forward. You might eventually land on forearms or work your way towards belly, or bring forearms or belly to a prop. And then inhale to come back up through center. Bend into the knees, bottoms of the feet together. Fingertips extend in front of you. And then exhale, slow roll down the spine. One vertebrae at a time. Landing in a Supta Baddha Konasana. One hand to the belly, one hand to the heart. Always a great touch point for checking in with body. And using your next inhale, bring the knees back together, bottoms of the feet to the floor. Walk the feet wider towards the edges of the mat and let knees drop in towards each other. And then we're just going to windshield wiper the legs from side to side. So both knees drop to one side and then back through center into the other, finding a couple here. Making your way back through neutral, feet hip width distance apart. Hands come down by the sides, one round of bridge pose, and then option to take wheel. So grounding into the heels for bridge pose first. Inhale, press the hips up high, rolling shoulders underneath you. Maybe you interlace hands underneath you. Again, all are just options, but make sure not to move the head and neck from side to side here. Keep squeezing knees in towards each other. And then releasing the clasp of the hands, exhale, slow, lower down. Either one more round of bridge pose on your own, or if you're ready to play with wheel, and only if you really feel comfortable doing this safely, hands could come up by the shoulders. And then you could press up to the top of the head first, and then eventually maybe all the way up into your wheel pose. Again, only if you feel safe doing this on your own. Bridge pose is also an option. Keep squeezing knees in towards each other. Maybe you shift weight forward and back between the hands and the feet. Really good way to kind of open up the shoulders, make sure glutes are engaged. And then exhale to slow roll back down. Bringing feet back to the edges of the mat, knees in towards each other, and pause. Hands could rest on the belly or the hips. Knees pull back into the chest. Last hip opener here, right ankle crosses over left knee, and then thread the right arm through, left arm around, so you're interlacing hands around left shin or left thigh, and then roll out the ankles. And switch directions. And release the arms either to a cactus or a T. Right knee stacks all the way on top of the left knee, and then you might work towards the double clasp eagle legs. If that's not available, just keep right knee stacked. And then exhale, let legs drop over to the left. Both shoulders are touching the floor. Maybe you bring gaze over to the right fingertips. And inhale to come back through center. And then we'll swap it out. Figure 4, left ankle crosses on top of right knee. Left arm through, right arm around. Inviting thighs in towards the rib cage. And then once again, roll out the ankles here. And dropping arms either into cactus or T. Left knee stacks all the way on top of the right, maybe the double clasp. And then exhale, find the twist. Upper body leans over to the, upper body stays center. Legs come over the upper body to the right. And maybe you drop gaze towards left fingertips. And inhale to come back through center. Unravel the knees, pulling knees into the chest. Lift the shoulders up off the mat so you can clasp opposite elbows. And then keeping that clasp, roll the spine back down to the floor, compressing into the hip joints one last time. Take a big inhale. On your exhale, Shavasana. Legs extend long, arms drop out by the sides. And let the eyes close. And I really encourage, even though you're at home and no one would see you if you didn't take Shavasana, that you give yourself even just 1 minute right here. Doesn't have to be anything long. 1 minute of stillness before you go back into your day. Let the eyes close. And let the back body soften into the support beneath you. Noticing if this is the point in practice where the mind starts going. And knowing that if you have a hard time simply settling into stillness, you can always assign a count to your breath. So counting the inhales and the exhales up to 10 and then back down to 0. And the purpose of that exercise being to give the mind a point of focus that is rooted in the present. The breath is always in the present. I think it's really important as we speak of a more advanced practice that we're not only talking about asana, these shapes that we make with our bodies, but that we're also bringing in a component of advancing practices for the mind space and for the heart space and for cultivating presence in a way that enriches our entire lives, not just this hour on the mat. And that as we advance our practice, that's the thing that matters. It's not the handstand or the 1 minute crow hold. And that we show up for ourselves on our mat so that we can therefore offer back out into the world from a place of having filled my cup first. Let's start to wiggle fingers and toes, wrists and ankles. Letting the transition back be slow and gentle. Keep the eyes closed as much as you can. Maybe a full body stretch, arms extend overhead. Knees into the chest. Again, no need to move exactly with my pace. Take your time. We will eventually meet back up in a comfortable seat with the eyes closed. Always option to sit up onto a prop. And hands can either come to the heart where they can stay resting wherever they are at. Let's land with a cycle of breath together, filling the lungs completely. Pause at the top and hold it. Open the mouth, exhale. Thank you so much for playing. Namaste.